Good morning, Joslyn fans and Facebook Live. I am Rebecca, the program director here at the Joslyn Center, and this is episode 41 of the Joslyn Variety Show. So today we have Veronica to do our warm-up, and then I have a very special introduction for you guys. So let's start with our workout, so grab your chairs, and then we will continue with our Monday morning update.
Thank you, Rebecca. Good morning, everybody. Okay, we're going to start off with our marching. Now, so we're going to get our, I was just stretching a tiny little bit because I walked around outside in the courtyard. So maybe you're already warmed up a little bit. I'm warmed up just a little bit. Well, let's just keep warming up together. Okay, so you're standing up nice and tall. Your knees are coming up, not real high yet because we're getting warmed up. But just take inventory. So notice your breathing. How's your posture? And you are shifting your balance from side to side as you're marching. Remember that. So there's a lot going on. See, how does your back feel? And again, just check your posture. Good. Okay. Now, I've got the chair here. I'm not going to step behind it. I'm going to stay here. But just if you're doing the same, make sure that you watch where your chair is so you don't tap into it. So we're just extending the leg out one side then the other, kind of like you're reaching and touching. So you keep a bend in your knees while you're reaching, and just tap and tap. So your upper body is pretty much stationary, just reaching with your lower body. Now we're going to tap the heel forward, and when you do, remember, since your leg is going forward, keep your upper body just upright. Don't let it swing back. Okay, so we're going to tap forward and tap forward. Remember your chair's here. If you feel you need to just adjust to this, move a little bit. Got the chair there. And again, it's reaching with your heel, tapping, tapping. So your knees have to stay bent the entire time. Just a little bend in the knees, tapping and tapping. So your breathing should be elevating a little bit. Since I'm talking, mine probably is elevating a little bit faster. But just be mindful of that. We're getting warmed up. Now we're going to tap the toe behind. So again, your upper body's going to stay upright. I'm not going to lean forward. So let's tap the toe behind. Okay, so your upper body's straight, as opposed to maybe doing this. We don't want to do that. Just keep your upper body straight and reach back. Just tapping my toe behind me. Good. Okay, and now what we're going to do is do a little bit of marching, and now we're going to step to the side with 2 steps. You're going to go step, 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 and tap, step, 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 and tap. When you're tapping, you're bringing your knee up and just tapping with your toe. So we're increasing our movements slowly, really feeling in control of our balance, and continuing to warm up. Good. Tap. Side. So as you're moving around, moving side to side like this, you're going to start to make it a habit where you are engaging your abdominal muscles. So when you are inhaling and exhaling, let's be mindful. When you're exhaling, probably at your tap, that's when you're going to squeeze your abdominal muscles in. So that way you're exercising your abdominal muscles, and you are also using those muscles to keep you balanced. And when you're telling your body to stop here, a lot of that's right here. It's like, stop, so you don't tip over. And also when you're squeezing those muscles, that's one of the ways in which you stay present. Stay right where you are. I know I'm squeezing them now. So I can't think of that and something else at the same time. Okay, good. Okay. All right, so let's just raise our arms up as you inhale. And reach those arms out, exhale. Your shoulders stay down. So inhale up and exhale. Let's do one more. Inhale and exhale. Okay, now let's rotate our shoulders. Now this is where you get to really shrug your shoulders up, back, down and forward. And this has got to feel good. Really, just you feel all that, little tingling feeling in your shoulders where it's really easy to store stress. You don't realize it, and then suddenly you feel like, oh, I'm so tight. And then I'm going to go forward a little bit. You can even use your arms, straight arms, maybe one at a time. You still have a little bend in your knee, okay, that gives you a strong foundation. So don't ever like lock your knees back. Keep a little bend in the knee, a little bend in the leg, and that gives you a good, strong foundation. Okay, good. All right. So now we're going to use our chair, and we're going to go right into doing some squats. So let's think about exercising lower body today. And we like to use the chair to do squats because it helps us to practice. You don't need a chair to do squats. But since we do spend a lot of time sitting, on our computers or watching TV or reading or whatever, it's a good opportunity to think about. Now, when you get ready to stand up, you're going to think about it. You're using a lot of muscles to stand up out of that chair. So make it an opportunity to stay with your chair for a few minutes and do some squats, okay? So we're going to stand up on our exhale. Stand up real strong, and when you stand up, you're straightening your legs, squeezing your glute muscles, and then sit back down all the way. That's what you inhale, and then exhale. Inhale down, and you're standing up straight, so none of your weight goes forward into your knees. That goes right into your toes and your knees. You keep everything back in line with your chair. Exhale up. So you can check your knees, make sure that you can always see your toes. When you stand up, when you're about midway, I can still see my toes. The more you do this, the more you practice this, the stronger you will get. Okay, and you can challenge yourself. You can do a few today. You can maybe do 5 or 10 today. Maybe do that again tomorrow. And the next time, do a few more. So if you need the assistance of, if you have armchair or chairs, armrest on your chair, you can start out by using that and then really use these muscles to stand up with. There we go. Inhale down, exhale up. So let's do 5 without touching the chair seat. Inhale down. Not even that far. There's still a lot of room till I get to the chair. And exhale up. And we're practicing. Well, we're really still warming up our muscles, checking our form. You might say, well, I know I can go deeper than that. Well, make sure you're warmed up enough and you really know what that form is before you go down deeper into your squat. Okay, so that's maybe a couple more. All right, now let's stay with the lower body. I'm going to turn my chair to the side. And what we're going to do is, let's do a little bit for the hamstring. So you're going to stand at your chair, and you're going to take your heel, and you're going to try and just reach up and kick. Try and kick yourself a little bit. Kick. So you've got the leg behind you just a little bit, and now you're just going to kick up with your knee. Kick up. You're working this muscle here. Kick. And of course, you're exhaling on your kick. Always exhale on the exertion of the move. Squeeze of the move. Now, if you do this exercise, you're feeling your hamstring. And if you don't do this exercise, or you're not familiar with it, and you don't really feel the hamstring, you just keep practicing. You're going to feel that muscle. You say, okay, now I know I'm squeezing that muscle. It's getting a little bit stronger. Squeezing, and switch to the other side. So the leg comes back just a little bit. I'll turn a little bit to the side here. And now, kick up, straight leg down. Kick up, straight leg down. Good. So when we were doing the squat, we were exercising these muscles in a group. the hamstrings, the quadriceps, the glutes. Now we're just pulling out the glutes and working on those. Okay, now let's go back to the first leg you started with. And your leg is pretty straight behind you, and now keep it straight. Again, it's not locked straight, a little bit bent, and you're gonna lift behind you. And now what we're doing is we're working the glute muscles. Squeeze, squeeze. So you've got your foot flexed, and you're lifting your straight leg, lifting up at the heel. And keep the squeeze the whole time. So when we switch to it, the other leg, that's when you can release that muscle. Squeeze, squeeze. Okay, now let's shift to the other leg. Straight leg back and back. So this is one of our biggest muscle groups in the body. And there's lots of reasons why it's important to keep your glutes strong. They do a lot of supporting in your body that you don't really realize. And so you could do a little research on that. But it really helps, for one thing, to support your lower back. So sometimes if you feel like your lower back's a little bit sore, if you stand up and really squeeze your glute muscles like really tight, you're gonna feel a little relief in your lower back. You're still squeezing and pushing back, good. Okay. All right, now standing next to your chair, let's do a few more squats with just a little bit of a variation. So your hips are a little bit wider, or your feet are just a little bit wider than your hips. Okay, so just a little bit wider. Now remember, you're not sending your weight forward in front of your knees, you're reaching behind you. So we're gonna go into a squat, and hang on to your chair just for a moment. Now when you come out of the squat, shift your weight to one leg. Okay, doesn't matter what, you're gonna shift it to one leg. Sit down in that squat again, and when you come up, shift your weight to the other leg. Move my chair a little bit. Shift back down, and shift to the other leg. So remember, when you're standing up out of the squat, you're really pushing off of your heel towards your arch. Your toes are not pushing off the floor. It's mostly from your heels to your arch. That's where you feel it when you're sitting down, and you're pushing off from the back of the bottom of your foot. There you go. So we're working both, and then really put the emphasis on that one leg. Let's do a couple more. So this is good. We're not only working our lower body, we're practicing our balance. We're keeping ourselves mindful, because we have to think about what we're doing in order to remember to shift each time. Squat and come out. Okay. Now the other day we did this. We lifted one leg, and we put the leg down, and then we sat into just a one-legged squat. I'm going to shift the weight and then sit into that one leg. Just go down a little bit. Takes a lot of practice so that you don't send your weight forward and into your knee. Just keep it behind you. So here's another one to practice. Good. And one side of your body probably feels different than the other side. If it doesn't, then that's fine. But if it does, it's probably a little bit more familiar to most people. I know my left side feels like, okay, that feels a little bit sore. My right knee feels a little bit stronger. I don't want to favor it, but I just want to be aware of that. Okay, so that's really good lower body workout. Really need to keep ourselves strong so we can get up out of our chairs, we can keep ourselves mobile, we can bend over, pick things up, and use the right muscles. All right, so let's just cool down a little bit. And just relax. Even just shake your legs a little bit. Really try to relax those muscles and see how much you can feel your muscles just wiggling. Taking all the tension out. Okay, And one of my favorites, just a little bit of a spin here. Just a little bit of a twist. And just really let those arms go. They're just flying along and then tapping your torso. Good. One more for posture. Let's rotate our shoulders back. Big rotation, and then we're going to finish with our shoulders back and down, like they should always be. Back and down. Good. Great work, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, Veronica. Okay, so it is Monday morning, which means that we have Jack here to do our Monday morning operations update. So here you go.
Thank you, Rebecca. I'm glad to see everyone. Happy new week to you. Hope you had a great weekend. Just to let you know, here at the Joslyn Center, we are continuing to do more and more of these online social networking sorts of things. So check Facebook, check our website for schedule of classes that we're offering. We're also offering our brain boot camp that will be virtual, so check that out. That's for our wellness center. And speaking of the wellness center, we have a new LCSW, licensed clinical social worker, who is supervising our associates who are engaging in our problem-solving strategies program. And it's really important. We're hearing more and more as this epidemic continues and people are being confined to their homes for a longer period of time, that they're dealing with some stress and anxiety about that. And, you know, we tend, if someone calls us or comes up to us and says, "How are you doing?" we tend to just say, "Oh, I'm just fine. I'm okay." You know, if you're not okay, that's okay. And it's also time to maybe look and see if you can find some help or some way through this. There's nothing wrong with reaching out for some help to help you deal with your anxiety or your feelings about being at home and apart from all your friends and your neighbors and your family. So I'm going to introduce Elyse Prack. She's an LCSW. She's our new supervisor of our LCS of our associate master of family therapist counselors, for the lack of a better term, our interns that are providing assistance for our clients. So without further ado, I'll introduce Elyse.
Thank you, Jack. Excellent.
Sorry, guys, we're all trying not to touch the mic after the rest of us have touched it, so we're taking great care to use wipes and paper towels and things to protect each other. Elyse, welcome. Tell us about yourself.
Hello. Thank you. Let me take this off. Good morning. Yeah, it's nice to be here. I've never done this before. So, I'm speaking to people that I can't see, but I know you're there. I did, thank you, pointing where to look. I did the exercises with you. That was great, Veronica. So my name's Elyse Prack, and I am a licensed clinical social worker, and I only just started here a couple weeks ago amidst the quarantine, so I'm still learning. But I am already supervising our two MFT associates, marriage family therapy associates. That's Gustavo and Susan, which perhaps some of you already know. And I will also be a backup person for the Brain Boot Camp and the Aging Mastery Program. I work on Monday and Tuesday, so it's very part-time. And let's see, my background. I grew up in New York. And then my real adult home ended up being Massachusetts for 32 years until just 7 years ago, and that's when I landed in Palm Springs. And I retired 1 year ago. I had a job here for 6 years, retired a year ago, and here I am doing this part-time. So I think it suits me, and I'm already enjoying everybody and the work, so I'm happy to be here. What else any suggestions? Okay.
That's all right. We are so glad that you're here.
I do want to say one other thing. These are difficult times, and if you're having a hard time, please reach out to the Wellness Center. We are there and available, and we have a good staff and want to hear from you if you have any needs. Thank you.
So much. At least we're glad you're here.
Thank you.
So I'm going to say goodbye to lovely people for today. We will be back tomorrow with more. I think that Veronica and Judy have some super fun recipes for us tomorrow. So that'll be great. But in the meantime, now that we've talked a little bit about our wellness center and the counseling appointments available, I'm going to give you guys our wellness center phone number. So if you've got a pen, it's 760-340-3220. The extension is 117. That's Veronica's extension, and she can make that appointment for you so that you can talk to any of our counselors. They're here all the time to help, and they'd love to be able to be of service. So enjoy the rest of this lovely day, and we will see you guys tomorrow for our Recipe Tuesday.